Hello, welcome to the stream. This isn't going to be a super long one. I just thought I would jump on because I've been on for a couple of days. So I thought I'd explain my absence. I've been bitten by the creative bug, and after doing the Mandarin, that were the last few videos that I did. Was playtesting the Mandarin scenario that I made, and then I got obsessed with doing a hero. I was like, I've got this hero idea. I should give it a go. It was Taskmaster, and so I spent a good bit of time working on this Taskmaster hero idea, and I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I should just quickly check before I go too deep into this, do put too much work. Because I like the idea all planned out. I hadn't actually made the cards yet. So I was like, I thought I'd better have a quick check. And just make sure if there is already a Taskmaster out there that I'm not ripping it off. I'm not saying I won't, if there is one, I won't do mine. I mean, you can have multiple. I've got like 8 different versions of Daredevil or something, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter if I do my own Taskmaster. But just make sure I'm not ripping anybody off. And thankfully I did that. Because I do actually have a Taskmaster downloaded by Captain Scorp. CPT Scorp. And it is unbelievable how close our two ideas were. It's uncanny. So, Captain Scorp, CPT Scorp, I don't really know how to pronounce it. Thank you, sir, for creating your Taskmaster. You may be pleased or displeased to know, I don't really know, that our minds think very similar. It's scary how similar. My hero was was different. The hero card ability was different, but the whole thing about the photographic reflexes, using the cards from other heroes, all that sort of stuff, was almost the same, almost word for word the same. So there you go. So scrap that idea. You don't need mine if you've already got Captain Scorp's. I mean, I might do it again later on down the track, but essentially you've got Captain Scorp's. I'll just use this. I might end up making the hero card and just use Captain Scorp's other cards. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so I scrapped that. I was like, well, there's no point. You don't need mine. And so I went with a different villain/scenario idea instead. And I've been working on that for a while. Like at least a week. And I finally finished it today. And I was going to jump and stream earlier today. But and it sort of struck me. I was like, it's very strange that this idea has not been done before. Oh, and full disclosure, my scenario, it's not wholly original. It is essentially a reskin of the Sinister scenario from Sinister Motives. So the Sinister 6 scenario from Sinister Motives. It's basically a reskin of that and slightly redone. So a few rule tweaks. And so it's not super original. But even then, I was like, surely this has been thought of before. So again, I didn't want to fall into the Taskmaster trap yet again. So I jumped on and had a squeeze, and I didn't have it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So mine is the Mutant Massacre. So here we have it, the Mutant Massacre. Mutant Massacre idea, and yeah, like I said, it's a it's a reskin of the Sinister. But anyway, I was like, it's surely someone's already done Mutant Massacre. I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one on Hall of Heroes. I couldn't find one downloaded. And I was like, all right, cool, awesome. I haven't pulled the same thing with that I did with Taskmaster, but it wouldn't leave my brain. I'm like, I know for a fact I have seen a card related to the Morlocks, which is what the Mutant Massacre storyline's all about, somewhere. I'm positive. I'm absolutely positive. And so I'm looking through all the custom cards, and I just can't find anything. And then it struck me. It has to be an official card. And sure enough, quick Google, and what do I find but the next Marvel Champions box set, which is called, of course, Next Evolutions, which has Cable and stuff in it, and has a Morlock scenario in it. For some reason, they call it the Morlock Siege instead of the Morlock Massacre. Maybe they didn't want to have the word massacre in their game. I'm not too sure. It's clearly not. It's definitely not called the Siege. There's no siege involved. The Morlocks get ambushed and then slaughtered, just absolutely slaughtered by the Marauders. It's got no siege involved. So I'm not too sure what that's about. But anyway, it's, yeah, sure enough, there they are. It's bang, right there. Is one of the scenarios in there is saving the Morlocks. And yeah, disappointment is is possibly not a strong enough word. And I was like, God damn it! I've unintentionally, what's the word? Plagiarized. Now it is, again, quite different because it's based off the Sinister scenario. It doesn't have the same mechanics. The mechanics of the official version, I mean, it's not out yet, so I don't know for sure, but it does look a lot. It involves around making sure that you try and save as many Marauders as many Morlocks as you can while you're holding off the Marauders, and it involves hope in some way. So they've sort of altered it around. It's not quite the same storyline. They've made some changes. But it does have the Marauders in there, A and B side versions of the Marauders, and it's more like the Mansion, this idea, the version of the Mansion attack. Yeah, so there you go. Disappointing. But I thought, you know what? Screw this. Screw it. I'm going to play test it, give it a go. I mean, I've put all this work into it. I might as well, you know what I mean? So stick with it and see how we go. See if it's any good. Because, like I said, I did make some tweaks. So it's not entirely the same. So it might have some more fun sort of differences or something. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I'm rambling now, to be honest. But anyway, let's give it a shot. I mean, I'm on. Let's give it a go. Now, I don't have like an insert built because I have the actual because essentially the rules are essentially the same, right? So let me just grab what's it called? Sinister Motives. That's right. So if I just grab the book for Sinister Motives. Should have like its own download section, right? Downloads, products, rules. Sinister motives. Rulebook. There we go. Sinister motives rulebook. Bring that up. And then in here it should have Sinister 6, right? Oh, in the campaign you get Venom as an ally. I've never played the campaigns. I should probably give them a go at some point. Anyway, while I'm getting this up, Eagle Eye viewers may notice a change to the table. It looks a little bit different. That's because I reached out to Hitch, the creator of the table, and explained the problem that I was having with the mat situation. And it turns out, so I took a video of what the problem was, or what I thought the problem was, and sort of stuff, and sort of sent that through, and I was pretty close. What it is when you change the mat, it creates a copy of this. And if I then change when you select it, it creates a copy of this mat. And then if you select change, it's meant to delete the copy of this mat, and then bring up the other mat. All right, because you'll notice that this mat's very different to this mat. And it wasn't doing that because what I was doing is because I left this mat as it was, and then made a save of the board, the save of the entire mod, and then came back into that save. It didn't delete the mat, even if I did change the mat again. If I changed the mat again, it still didn't delete the previous one. And so what it did is it just created multiple copies of this image and stacked them on top of each other. So I ended up having 30 stacks of the same image on top of each other. And the more and more I got, the more it was harder for the grid underneath it to know what it was doing. So I got kind of stuck. And I saw you could see that if you click flip, it would then flip the entire table, and it would show all the different things. And so I was trying to delete the images and stuff like that. It just wasn't working. So I showed it to Hitch, and he recognized what the problem was and made a fix. So there's a new version. So there's a new version of the Hitch mod table. I highly recommend you grab it. It's awesome. It's so awesome. It's taken me a while to sort of get used to this whole players here and the villains up here business, because it's not quite how I play. But everything else about it, it's just, the PIM thing, you import your things, and it's got especially got all the cards you want, and it's got the individual card selectors and all that sort of jazz. It's just amazeballs. So go grab it. It's great. And the fact that he went and took the effort to fix that for me was very, very appreciated. So now when I finish, I just need to make sure I clear this. Just go to just a normal mat so that it hasn't created extra images, and if it has, because when you move around you can see them. It just sort of hovers over there. It's kind of weird, kind of a weird effect. But for now I'm gonna collect them. I prefer this one. It's laid out the way I would normally lay it out and stuff. But because of that, I had to essentially abandon the other board. I just had to basically get rid of it because this wasn't happening, and sort of recreate it all again. And so I took the opportunity to do it a little bit different. So over this side, you've got all the custom heroes I could find, and there's plenty more. They're just the ones I could find. And there's these custom scenarios. These are the ones that I've already gone through, so I just know not to do them again. This is my workout area, as in I'm working out modules for myself and stuff. So this is the Mutant Massacre module that I've already done, and I'm working on a Sinister, so part 2, my little mini campaign, I suppose. Part 2 of this will be Mr. Sinister and going up against his clones and stuff, which again has already been done in the official release. So Next Evolution has Sinister as a villain. So yeah. I'm proceed. I'm gonna proceed because why the hell not? You know what I mean? And these are not my cards. These are an existing Mr. Sinister scenario by PH Comasetto. That's by PH Comasetto as well. That's the Marauders module. And these are sort of cards I've sort of taken inspiration from. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Don't ignore that. Yeah, so there's scenarios, and then down here is some modules. So yeah, I've sort of rearranged it a little bit. But anyway, for this playtest, I'm going to do Spidey. Is the one I feel the most comfortable with. So let's do Peter. And I don't know where he is. I just realised something. I don't have all of their health counters. I don't have their health counters. Where did I put their health counters? I was pretty sure I put them into an actual bag. HP counters. There we go. Cool. Oh. That's not where I wanted to go. Obligations. HP counters. Yeah, there we go. So that's a lot easier. Just chuck it all in a bag instead of having them all over the bloody table. Makes much more sense. Okay, so Peter, 10. Alright, so let's go through this bad boy. So, like I said, it's based off the Sinister thing. It's got a thing called activation orders. Each villain in a scenario has the text activation order X. This text determines the order in which the villains activate. When instructed to move the active counter to the next villain in the activation order, move the active counter from the villain who has it to the villain with the next ascending value in order. If there's no activation order value greater than the current values for you, move the active counter to the villain with the lowest activation order value. This has an active counter. Well, there may be more than one villain in play, however, there's only one of them at a time which have the active counter, which is placed on a villain at the start of the scenario. The active counter determines which villain is considered active. So the only villain that activates during step 2 of the villain phase. The encounter cards effects that refer to the villain without a qualifier referring to a specific villain affects the villain that is active. After the villain with the active counter is defeated, move that active counter to the next villain in the activation order. If no other villains are in play, set the active counter aside. So they get discarded if they get defeated. They don't go to a new stage or flip or anything like that, and they go to the discard pile. But then their own special discard pile. And then there is actually possible to not have any villains in play if you're lucky. But that's essentially it. That's basically it. Is you have multiple villains. So, so for the villains, I'm gonna put them along here. It's gonna move this bad boy out of the way. So they're gonna start here, and I'm gonna move them across here, across their own track. Actually, no. You know what? I think I might have them on here because there's no minions. There's no minions in this deck. So I'm actually going to have them all on here. Yeah. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's do it. Massacre in the Tunnels. Contents: Scalp Hunter, Reptile, Scrambler, Arclight, Harpoon, Vertigo, Sabretooth, Blockbuster, and Prism. They were the Marauders that were present. Oh, I haven't fixed that. How embarrassing. Say I have 28. Oh well. life goes on. They're the Marauders that were present. They're present during the first Mutant Massacre, the one that happens in S Factor and stuff. It even has Thor and Power Pack involved, which is pretty cool. So yeah, they're the ones that I've used. There are, of course, other Marauders, Malice and Chimera and various others, but these are specifically those. And I've tried to keep the art as close to those versions as possible. Close to the versions of how they looked in Mutant Massacre. So some of the art is like quite old. I mean, look at that. That's the Marvel Handbook version of him. It's like, geez, that's a fairly recent version of Vertigo. But excuse me. Yeah, like that's an old version of Scrambler. So yeah. Anyway, the Mutant Massacre set. The Standing Encounter set's already in there, and the XXXX is meant to be. I was trying to think of a modular to use. I was going to use PH Kumasato's Marauder modular, but thought it was a bit weird to have the minions and the villains be essentially the same. And I couldn't think of anything. So what I've just done is I've put in I've made my own version of PH Kumasato's Marauders side scheme. I've made my own version of that that's relevant to my thing and put it in there. I didn't use any of the others. Those ones. I was going to use Now or Never, and I didn't end up doing it. I didn't use Clone Activation either because it's not relevant. And these are the rest of these minion ones. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so the deck's not the biggest. But then again, it's only got 6 extra cards in the official version anyway, so it's some sort of module. The module that the official version uses is what? Guerrilla Tactics? Guerrilla Tactics. Guerrilla Tactics. Let's have a look. Guerrilla Tactics is the official one. Life-size decoy, coordinated effort, hidden in shadow, teamwork makes the dream work. Actually, you know what? This is not too bad. Actually, now I'm thinking I probably should have used Guerrilla Tactics. I don't like the life-size decoy. That's kind of dumb. I'm not going to use that. But the other ones... these are not bad. I'm going to use these. Gonna pop them in there. But not those. They suck. What's in here? Never noticed this one before. What's this? Ah, Hitch's stuff. Cool. That's pretty sweet. I mean, I've already got them all individually here somewhere, but yeah, that's pretty handy. Alright, so playtesting notes. I'll just make sure that I put in Guerrilla Tactics. Minus life model decoy because it's dumb, and add ph Soto's Marauders scheme. Cool. And my wife just sent me a text. Cool. Alright, so yeah, we'll do that. Setup. Combine all the Marauder villains into their own deck. There we go. Draw the top X villains where X is one more than the number of players. Put those villains into play and place the active counter on the villain with the lowest activation order. Value. Put the Survive the Massacre side scheme into play with the Massacre side face up. So it starts with 10. What does hinder mean? Is hinder the news? The new way of just saying add extra threat per person. I think it is, isn't it? They just gave it a keyword just to make it a little bit more modern. Place that additional threat. Right. So 10. And it's permanent. The players cannot win unless they save as many morgues as they can and survive the Marauder attack. When the last threat is removed from this scheme, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme, then flip this card. Then you get to escape. And you may notice that these two pictures actually match up. So this is actually one big double side spread in the comic itself. So this is the left hand side with Harpoon throwing a Harpoon and Skull Punter flame throwing some poor Morlocks. And the next side says the Harpoon hitting the poor Morlock and the other Morlocks fleeing for their lives with some cool Walt Simonson artwork. It's very sweet. Escape! The players cannot win unless they save as many monsters as they can and survive the Marauder attack. Force control. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, the players escape the tunnels and win the game. Forgot to put in the number again. Oh well. It is what it is. Well, strangely enough, this one does. But this one does not. Embarrassing. Alright, so 1B. Ambush. This is the ambush ability that I just mentioned just a second ago. Special. Draw the top card from the Marauder villain deck, put that villain into play, and place the active counter on it. In expert mode, place 2 threat on the Survive the Massacre side scheme. I'm not playing expert mode. Force control. When a villain would activate, if no villain is in play, resolve this card's ambush ability. Continue that activation. So basically just says there always is a villain in play. That's essentially what it's trying to say. Make sure there's a villain in play at all times. I need a counter. What do I use as a counter? I'm going to use Thor's hammer. There we go. The first player marker. I'm going to use that to activate who is first. Well, that doesn't really seem appropriate to use it for the Marauders, does it? Does not seem appropriate at all. Is there something else? Have I got something else that's sort of like seems a little bit more appropriate? An EVP alien. What about this? What about this attack token? Nope. That's not gonna work. Oh, it's locked. Nope, that's not gonna work. What is this? Damage token. What is this? I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna use it. It's some bizarre token. Let's just make it a little bigger. Look, it's huge. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's now the active token. That's actually pretty sweet. So it's like pointing at who's the active villain. That's pretty cool. It seems more appropriate than using Thor's hammer, to be honest. All right, let's do it. So draw the top value where x is 1 plus more than the x is 1 more than the number of plates. That's 2. So I get 1, 2. The activation order is 1 and 5, so I've put them in the right order there. That's good. I'm just going to check them over here. So I can put the encounter cards down here. So the activation person is there. He's number 1. There he is. All right. Cool. Everything's set up. Need a threat token. There, starts at 2. We'll get 1 each. That's pretty sweet. Alright, now let's do... Oh, I'm so used to go down to here now, so it's actually over here. Oh, it's going to take a while to figure it out. Let's give this a shuffle. There we go. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got webbed up. Oh, let's have a look at what Scalp Hunter does. Scalp Hunter, 1/2. Marauder, activation order 1. Regeneration 1. Forced interrupt. When Scalp Hunter attacks, discard the top card of your deck. If the discarded card has the tech, weapon, or armor trait, he gains +1 attack for this activation. Cool. And then you've got Harpoon. He has ranged. Force response. When Harpoon attacks, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printer resource has Fist, deal 1 damage to a character you control, with preference go to the defender if possible. Energy, remove 1 counter from a card you control. Mental, discard a random card from your hand. Okay. The active villain at the moment is Scalp Hunter. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this hand. I get a backpack. Oh, backpack. Seriously, backflip. And Black Cat, of course, which is handy. I can afford a webbed up. I might actually do webbed up. Although I could just kick him and just take him out. Yeah, I'm going to energy and the resource that Peter uses. No, I'm going to energy to Black Cat. No. I'm going to use the resource that Peter uses and Web of Life and Destiny to Black Cat. And then I'm going to flip to Spidey and then energy and webbed up to Swinging Web Kick for 8, which puts him on what's going on here? Why can I not create damage? What? Hello? The counters don't work anymore. Hello, Mr. Counter. Hello, Mr. Counter. How bizarre. The counters are broken. Oh, wait. I know what it is. There's a toggle up here. Swap damage generic to clickable counters. There we go. Alright. Now let's do it. There we go. Look at that. This table is awesome. Like, it caters for everybody. Magnificent. Alright. So swing whip kicked for 8. And then I'm just going to hit him for 2. He's gone. And then so he gets discarded. Let's have a look. What happens? Yeah, so he gets discarded. Well, he gets shuffled back into the deck. Because he could come back again. I'm pretty sure that's what it works, right? He gets shuffled back in. So I'll make sure I'm doing that right. Yeah, so he gets discarded. He becomes the active one. Now that he's the active one, Black Cat's going to hit him for 1. There we go. So that's it. Let's reset. Get some cards. Alright, I'm happy with this. Another webbed up, which is great. Always sad to see a webbed up get thrown away. Cool. Alright. Villain phase. Put a thread on here. Villain attacks or schemes. He will attack. Because I'm in hero mode. When he attacks, discard the top card of your deck and that card's below his source, blah 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 blah. So he's attacking. So I still need to get a boost. So before he does any of that sort of stuff, I get a boost card. I need to, am I defending? Yeah. I will defend. Because he's attacking me, I get a free card. Thank you. Another enhanced by sense. Happy with that. So force responses, do they happen before? It's a force response, not a force interrupt. So he still does his attack, which is 2 plus 2. Oh, so lucky I defended. That's pretty handy. 2 plus 2, so I still take a point of damage. And force response is discard a card, which is a mental. Discard a random card from your hand. Okay. And that card is, oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Would have preferred Turn the Tide, but oh well, it is what it is. So then, encounter card. Encounter card is Coordinated Effort. Another scheme. Each player gains an acceleration icon. Oh. Each enemy gains an acceleration icon. That's interesting. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. That's insane. Alright. That's it. Boom. Oh, not ready. It's got what the cards are in my hand. Oh, I should have backflipped. Bloody hell. Could have avoided all of that with a backflip. I'm going to turn the tide to put out Warrior the Great Reb. I don't need 2 enhanced senses. Black Cat's going to hit him for another 1. Reset and draw 4 cards. No, 3 cards. Hand size is 5, so I draw 3. There are no minions, so that card is useless. But I can now start casting these guys since I am a warrior of the Great Web, so that's handy. Okay, threat. And then another threat, because the acceleration token, I'm going to put it over here so I don't forget. Okay, he activates. I'm backflipping. That's just straight up. I'm just backflipping. He still activates though, so I still get a free card. And he gets booster. Doesn't really matter what it is. Shoot the scum! 3. God damn! It would have been 5. That's crazy. I'm interrupting all 5. Don't really care. But his effect still happens. So let's flip. Lose a card. It is a wild, no effect. I do still lose a card though. Bloody hell. I could have used the suit. That I really could have used that. That would have been handy. Oh, I didn't do Black Cat's effect. Top cards, 2 cards with mental keep. No. I could have preferred not to use those cards. Oh, jeez. This game is a disaster. What have I done? I would have had another... The card that I discarded before from him should have been one of the ones I got with her. And it would have been a kick thing that I could use against him. But no. I completely screwed up this game. Like, completely. Ridiculous. Anyway, it's my turn. So I'm going to... Oh, no. It's not my turn. It's still his turn. He hasn't even done any counter card. Cheating. Oh, it's another side skill. This is crazy. This can't be done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each enemy player gains a hazard icon. This is just madness. It's out of control now. Now it's my turn. I need to start removing threat. So, yeah. For 1. So it's just the 1. And then use this to power clear the area, which is 2. And then flip to Peter and use his resource and this to play Gwen. Black Cat will hit for 1 and Gwen will thwart for 1. This is terrible. I get 6 cards. Villain goes 1, 2. He will scheme for 0 plus 1, so he schemes for 1. Boom, 8, straight up. When revealed, draw the top card from the Marauder villain deck, put that villain into play and place a counter on it, even if another villain has the counter. Okay. Arclight. So she's now the active villain. No villain is put into play this way, or this next way, deal with play and face down the card. Okay. Ambush! You know the drill. And we lose if we get to the end, which is 8. So I'm pretty sure it's 8. Yeah, it is 8. Anyway, that's the introduction to that game. I'm going to reset, do it all again, make a couple of changes based on those 2 things that I had, and a couple of the cards have the XX still. Let's see if I can fix those up. But yeah, that's the introduction and where I've been and what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I may return later on in the evening. We'll see how we go. But as always, take care of yourselves and live long and prosper. Thanks. Bye.